Welcome back, everybody, to another reaction video, something a little bit different this one, because we're going to do some deep dives into the style of drummers and how they play, maybe a little bit on how they approach drums, how they get the signature sound. And we're going to do this for a few drummers. The first up is going to be two from Sleep Token. And this is the first video of 2026. I want to get back into doing videos because it's been a long, long time since I've actually sat down and done any reaction videos, sat and played on the kit. I managed to do a little bit of recording last week or between the Christmas and New Year, and then it always ends up getting kind of like put at the bottom of the pile, unfortunately, but that is hopefully no longer the case. Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Hope life is good. Mine's not. Couldn't be any worse. Not that anyone was asking, so we'll move on. Formula One is back though, so that is all good. Or Audi has put their test car out on a track, so the Formula One season has officially begun. Right then, we'll jump into this. Something new. Look at this. New pair of headphones. Not sponsored by Vic Firth. I wish I was, although not their drumsticks, because Pro Mark for the win. But my Jesus Christ, I can't hear. Literally can't hear a thing with these on. I did try them for recording the other day, and they are absolutely mega, but when they actually like suction mount to your head, you can't hear too much. Right, first up, enough rambling done. We are going to have a look at two, who, as we say, is from Sleep Token, and he played at Tam Tam Drum Fest a little while ago, and he's done a few of these drum fests, which is good because then you get a chance to actually properly analyse a drummer and see them add some stuff as well to tracks that they wouldn't normally do in a normal live setting with a band. So I feel like I'm shouting with these on now. Jeez. So we're going to have a watch of this. We're going to enjoy it, hopefully. I have seen bits of this already, and I'm obviously well aware of the song, so I'm not reacting to this as much as I want to actually look at his style of playing and all that sort of stuff. So there will be a lot of skipping through tracks. There will be a lot of pausing. If you want to listen to the songs and you want to listen to the performance, go listen to it. If you dare comment on my video saying he pauses it too much, well, I will not be your biggest fan. Here we go. I'm checking that if I turn the volume up in my headphones, I don't turn the volume up on the track. I don't think I do. That's all good. Right, okie dokie. One of the first comments on this video is that why has he brought a bottle of water? Because he can't drink it, not without giving anything away. Right, now I saw Sleep Token as well at Download Festival. One of the best bands and just all-round performances and sets that I have ever seen. Absolutely phenomenal. And better than I thought they were going to be as well. I'm going to try not to pause it too quickly. I will, however, say on one of the videos that I did of a Sleep Token review, I was like, oh, what's that in the bass drum? There was something in the floor tom. There was something that was jumping around. And I couldn't work out what it was. And then Lee Took, a bassist of all things, of all people, said, well, it's cotton wool at the bottom of the drum to stop the reverberation on the bottom skin. I was like, oh yeah, how obvious. How did I not realise or know that? Should we have a quick look at his setup though? This cymbal here, cymbals with holes in, I was never ever a massive fan of as a standalone cymbal, because I always liked massive cymbals, massive Peisty signature reflected 22-inch crashes that just rang for days. But these, in context and in setting, and when used properly, sound tremendous. 3 splashes, hats. I'm guessing this is a 18-inch, or that's a 20 if this is a 22. Maybe that looks a similar size to that. Maybe it's an 18 or a 20 here, or maybe it's a 17 or an 18 here as well. This crash especially is one of my favourites. And then I don't know what size that China is. That's probably an 18, I'm going to guess. All of which sounds very, very nice. Let's go. I love those dotted eighths as well on those accents, and switching it up. In fact, this crash here, I don't know why I'm pointing with my finger because you can't see it when it goes off screen, with the arrow there. That crash just sits so nicely, doesn't overpower it, which is very easy for cymbals to do.
EasyJet's Big Orange sale is now on. Get up to £500 off package holidays. And up to 20%
I've just paid for
flights.
YouTube Premium! I've literally just paid for YouTube Premium. I would show you it on my bank statements, but that'll show you how little money I have in my bank account. I've just paid for YouTube Premium. What is going on here? Premium benefits. Look at this. We are on YouTube Premium. Member since January 20. I bought it specifically because I knew that would happen in the middle of that. Oh, honestly. What a disaster. Let's keep going. Now, this is one thing that I was surprised with live, is that he actually plays all of this on the SPDSX. If that was me, and it has been me, put that on track. I ain't sitting playing trap beats like that on an SPDSX. The novelty wears off too quickly. You give me the effects pad, and I'm like, oh, that's all really cool, for about 5 minutes, and then I get bored, and I can't sit and play a beat regimental like that for any more than about 2 bars. And I'd forget where all the triggers are. I'd end up just... my hi-hats would become snare drums straight away. In fact, I did that at a gig. Story time. Second or possibly third gig with what I thought was going to be like the band. You know, like you join the Originals band, you're like, this is the band. These guys are all... they all know what they're doing. Until on that gig, your singer sort of doesn't turn up until 5 minutes before you're due to go on stage, doesn't do the sound check and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, and a lot of it was electronic, massive influence by like Linkin Park. Not a massive fan of Linkin Park, but loads of electronic influence. And I had one of these. It wasn't a Roland, it was a different make. And I just had to set the samples away to trigger the songs. That was all I had to do, just literally tap an intro. And so we start to set it away, intro comes on, all the electronic drums all kicks in, boom, 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 away we go. Do the first song, spot on, goes down mega, really heavy stuff, like really good. And then I needed to trigger the second song, so I just went to trigger the second song and triggered the first song again. So then the intro of the first song starts playing. And there was something that I just didn't realise that was the song that we just done. So I'm listening going, right, we're going to kick in here. There was nothing in my head registered that I was just repeating the first track again. And then everybody turned around and was like, what are you doing? And then we had to stop. Worst thing a band can do. And say, oh shit, sorry. Yeah, it was pretty awkward. Anyway, I should also say as well that gig that I got wrong and played the wrong intro, it wasn't like it was a small gig. We were supporting Silverstein. That was a pretty big deal gig for us at the time. Completely ballsed it up. Anyway. Mega. Shall I really embarrass myself and try and explain that drum fill? I think we will do. We will make an absolute meal of this, there's no doubt about it. I'm not going to go too technically involved and bore people to death, but in terms of his actual approach to drumming here. So loads of all linear. But the main thing, which he does a lot of, is the kind of like displacement or misplacement, it sometimes feels, and a bit off, of those hi-hats, which is been a gospel thing for many a year, and he is heavily influenced as a gospel drummer. But those fills, you're just never sure where they're going to go. And you're never quite sure where they're going to lead into as well, which is one of the really nice progressive things about Sleep Token, is those drum fills can throw you off. Whether you're a drummer or not, you're listening to it and you know it's not normal. It's not a da-da-da-da-da-da-da all the way around. It is a really weird sounding accents are just where they're not meant to be. And then you have this comfort of the chorus or the verse that it drops back down into, something recognizable that immediately brings you back to kind of like, I know where I am now. I'm not going to keep going back over it. I think that might have been actually part of it, half a 6-stroke roll, depending on the stick in there. I think it was on the hats. And it's amazing to see him do stuff like this, and even appearances on Drumeo, which was a little while ago now, but to still hear and have him speak about how he approaches drum parts and music in general. Especially this track here, like those dotted eighth notes. And then again, as he's done in the intro, then takes it down to quarters or eighths. Class. Where not always the music's not always following the drums. And so the drums does have that freedom, not that it's improvised as such, but it does have that freedom to kind of go off and do its own thing and then come back. As we say, it's like the comfort of, right now we're back to normal. One thing I will say and give them credit for as well is drummers who do play on the pads and then have to properly lock in to a really specific beat, which I'll be honest, I just can't do. I've listened to too much Iron Maiden and Nick McBrain where no thing has played the same thing twice. But kind of forcing yourself to play within the confines of a really specific, often partially pre-programmed, because some of those triggers will trigger a roll or a burst or a double hit, and you only hit it once. So you have to be really specific in what you play, especially this here, as you see. So you can see he's actually playing some doubles, some eighths, and some faster rolls, and then there's one of those triggers that will trigger the 16s. That is almost harder than half of the stuff he's playing behind the kit. But then when you switch back round to playing behind the kit, you then appreciate the freedom that you do have. And if you see here as well, like, there's so many accents that's going on with cymbals. And I feel like that's really important as well, because I feel like the accents of the cymbals is really important. When you're playing, yes, there's a kick drum underneath sometimes, not all the time. But there's so many other places that you could accent. And the reason that the cymbals work is it doesn't take too much away from the often like rhythmical, not displacement, but where those accents lie. If you are hitting all of those on a snare, that groove, if you imagine the comparison, is completely ruined, and the song is ruined as well. There's still loads of room, as obviously who Sleep Token is and the anonymity of it all. My theory is it's actually the Stig. Top Gear went to crap, and then all of a sudden Sleep Token comes out. You join the dots. This is what happens when Jeremy Clarkson punches producers. Am I seeing that right? His second... Oh, what a weirdo. His second kick pedal, am I seeing that right? His second kick pedal is to the left of his hi-hat. Oh, that is minging. Why is he doing that? Oh, that is absolutely vile. But I tell you what, that's not a bad idea. The amount of times, I don't know who's the genius now. The amount of times that I played double kick and your hi-hat has to go so far to the left because you've got the other kick pedal. How is he managing that? I'm trying to look where that bar's going. I think that's the bar there for the connector between the pedal. That's going behind his snare. Is the snare on a boom? No, you can see the snare there. So it's going behind the snare, but in front of the hi-hat. For non-drummers, that's a really boring, just non-starter conversation, but that is, I find that interesting. Oh, I'm actually going to try that now. Why have I never thought of that? So he's got the legs folded in on the hi-hat, hasn't he? So I'm assuming he must have a clamp or something to keep it from moving. Sorry, just chatting absolute garbage over the top of this tremendous playing. Those gaps, nowhere, those ghost notes, 3 tiny little ghost notes fill that space better than half of these drum fills here. Unbelievable. And again there you got the dun 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 on the crashes, which just fills that. Fills the slowingness of it. It kind of adds more without adding too much. Now I know all the memes on Instagram for drummers is like, if Sleep Token played this, and it's just all of this over every single song. He's actually sat quite high up there as well. His legs are like down. Here we go. One of my favourite breakdowns. The next time round. Clearly forgetting where I am. Such a busy drum fill, and there is as many splash hits as there is tom rolls. I couldn't even imagine manage the sticking pattern of that, never mind anything else. Honestly, this is a band that I've just indulged so much on. Indulge isn't the word, what am I trying to say? Binged on Sleep Token. Very late to the party overall, but tremendous. So this one here is one of, and there's many, favourite Sleep Token songs. But the way the drums just drop down into this verse here, and they push the song forward, but then at the same time slow it down and give it all the reduction in space that it needs. Especially when we move over to the right there. Love it. But if you actually watch what it is that he's doing, in terms of actual counting the amount of times that one of those sticks hits a cymbal or a drum, he's actually still very busy, but to be that busy and make it sound so minimal is like a skill in and of itself. Yet just actually playing minimal, I find the most difficult bit. To actually sit and play nothing or play a straight AC/DC beat for anything more than 4 bars, I'm like, nah, I'm out of here. And that, I think, is why I love this so much, is that you're still very, very busy, but then it's the opposite skill of being able to make it purposefully sound so minimal, or making it sound so purposeful, actually. And another one of those massively big choruses, just washing it out with the cymbals. And those Istanbuls as well, by the way. Unbelievable. If I didn't love Nickel McBrain and Peisty so much, I would either be Istanbul or Meinl. And I'd have an entire kit, I think, of those kind of really dry cymbals. Because they let you just wash out a chorus so nicely, and then the focus becomes snare and kicks. Never noticed that cymbal catch before. I don't know if that's in the track or if that's improvised. Well, I was well out of time there. I was half a bar too early there. See if Ben can edit that to make it look like I can air drum in time. Here we go. The angle didn't do him any favours there. I love those flam runs. This one's my favourite fill. Oh, it makes me laugh to watch because it's so unbelievable. Just watch this whole section again. Honestly, this is... We talk about being purposeful and meaningful. This is just ridiculous for the crack, but it just works so well. Those last few flams is what I can do. This is crazy. At what point, I wonder whether or not that's actually been improvised in the moment during the recording, or at some point it's been improvised or he's just been mucking about, or if he's actually gone to them, right, lads, you know those last 16 bars? I've got an idea. And they've just gone, right, yeah, as long as it's not too, not too over the top, because no, nice and simple. And then he just glitches out throwing blast beats, essentially. He's like, no, I've got a few bits that I'm going to throw it together. There might be a couple of blast beats on the ride and snare, but don't worry about it. It'll be brief. All right, okay. Well, how many times are you going to do that in the one drum fill though? Well, I'll probably do that 4 times. Well, you do that 4 times, right? No, I'll do that in the one drum fill. 4 times in the one drum fill. All right. Well, we'll just don't go overboard, but we'll see how it sounds first. And then they've gone, there's fucking no way you're putting that on in this track. And they've turned to the producer and they've said, do not by any means use that take. He's taking the piss. Stop it. And then when they've all gone home, he's done a Lars Ulrich and he's basically gone, right, I'm taking charge now. Turn that fucking bass down and put that other take in. Thank you very much. I'm going home. You've got to laugh at this. Sleep Token 101 of a verse groove. Anything goes. There is something still quite magical and human of the fact you've got that SPSX there. And he is still playing everything manually. To see it, to watch it being done and being played. Even though me as a drummer, I'd be saying, put that on track. Get those pads away from me. And this is also as well what Sleep Token as a band do so well. When the drums are going to get busy, everything else is able to just take a back seat. Everything is able to just take a back seat and the drums can become not necessarily the focus, but the thing that is, you know, creating the most noise or the most unease or the most kind of whatever it is that they're trying to put into the song at, like, at that time. Because if you have everything, if the drums are the only thing that's going up and down in terms of like busyness and complexity and rhythmical cleverness and whatever, if everything else is staying the same and it's only the drums that's going up and down, you start to just get the effect of like, where does it all go? And then that there's prime example. If the drums are going to come up, what's being sacrificed so that you still have the song, if you almost imagine it on this like modular line or level, it's still, and that line is just sort of the perfect balance. They run on that line like so perfectly well all the time. There's no Sleep Token song that I can think of, at least, or when I hear it, I think that's overdone, even when the drums are going crazy. And, you know, there's plenty of other stuff and plenty of other instruments. The balance is just always so perfect. I think I know what I was trying to say there. I quite like Sleep Token. Is the top and bottom of it. Well, saying, you know, you've got an audience of drummers watching you. Because just as drummers watch this and think, I could probably manage that, what he's doing, he then throws in fills like that to go, no. I am the drummer here. There's a reason you, rest of you, are in the audience. God, son. What do you even say about that? Other than, yes. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. One of the few, there's still quite a few now, but one of the few bands that managed to waver between musical to the general public and proper technical for the nerds. Like Biffy Clyro is always one that I said was like perfect for that. You can sit and listen and go, I know what they're doing there, but you can still enjoy it with non-musicians who just go, oh, I like that he sings in a Scottish accent. And Sleep Talking's the same. You can sit and listen to them and go, I know what he's doing there. I can't play what he's playing, but I know what he's doing there. And then you can enjoy that amongst the rest of the horny goths down the front. Who go, oh, I like Vessel. I like his six-pack, and I like that he sings about heartbreak. I'm heartbroken. Bordering on getting cancelled. How long before the room of drummers goes out of time clapping? About 5 seconds. He corrects them. He's like, no, stop. Try that again. Look at this. That's tremendous. How many bars do they get in? Not even into the third bar. He's like, no, stop. Right, do it again. Tremendous. Like, why can't you clap in time? We're at a drum fest, man. Vessel's not here. All you non-musicians, piss off! They've kept clapping in time this time. I need to say as well, we talk about being busy and making it sound less. Obviously, in this case, he's being busy and making it sound busy. But also as well, those rolls on the snare just fill the space as well. Again, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but there's not many drummers can fill a bar with ghost notes, and I would say kind of do it well or do it purposefully or meaningfully. Because many drummers, you will notice, the good drummers play the ghost notes when people can't actually hear them, right? Like in a setting like this, is everyone actually going to hear all of his ghost notes? Probably not. Are we going to hear it on the recording? Yes, we do, because it's been mixed probably for the... I don't know if it's been mixed for the recording or if it's been mixed for the room, or both. This feels like it's not being mixed great, but you can hear his drums very well. Eloy Casagrande is another prime example of a drummer that will play ghost notes no matter what. He's playing them ghost notes because that's what he wants to play in that moment for that song, regardless of whether I saw Slipknot at Leeds. I didn't hear many of those ghost notes, but I could see that he was playing them. Whereas I'll be honest, if I'm at a gig and if I know people can hear them, I'll play them because I've got the ego the size of a small country. When you know the sound is shit and no one's hearing it, you're so much more inclined to just play straight. Like, you're so much more inclined to just go, just get this gig over with. Like, nobody can hear me, therefore I don't care. But yeah, putting it into actual song context, those rolls, some of it sounds like he's doing, I'm trying to work out what he's doing. I think he's playing like a group of three, double on the right, one on the left. Sometimes he's playing it as, I'm trying to work out, sometimes it sounds like he's playing it as a 6-stroke roll as well. Not necessarily always here, I'm talking about in other songs as well. But those are another thing that do so well, rather than just playing another snare drum. Like we say, he replaces some of those extra snare hits with cymbals, and I just love him. I love the Stig. Such a good drummer, the Stig. There, it's like unreal. I would say there's no amount of muscle memory would allow me to remember how to play that beat correctly each time. I'm watching that going, it's not the most difficult thing in the world, but it's just awkward. Yeah, look at the snare roll. There you go, there's another one. You've obviously got all the triplet ghosts in the fill there. And then on that last bar, purposefully, I think the song actually fades out normally. On the track, I'm fairly sure that the song just fades out. But on that last bar, you see the difference when he's not playing any ghost notes at all, and he's not doing the rolls on the snares, which kind of then lead you into the next bar or the next way around into the cymbal crashes and all that sort of stuff. Really, really, really cool drummer. He gets a lot of hype, correctly so, but I think there's some recognition needs to go into the influences that he's taken from. Like, he's very open about, the gospel drummers, and then bringing that into just absolute hardcore smash the shit out of drums, and really trying to merge the two, but keeping it technical and keeping it musical. You watch some of those gospel drummers, like the proper drum solos all the way through the song, he just treads that line so perfectly well, and finds that balance so perfectly well. So there we go. What an unbelievable drummer he is. Absolutely tremendous. Sleep Token 2 as a drummer, one of my absolute favourites right now. And bringing back, I don't know how to explain it, like commercially technical music. It's obviously music that can still be served to the masses, as long as they like rock music. And yeah, I can't really think of another band that's done that since Biffy Clyro, maybe? I'm trying to think I don't think there's a band that's done what they've done since Biffy Clyro. Brought technically well appreciated music and so cleverly wrapped it up in a commercial package. That's the only way that I can think of explaining that. Basically, they write good tunes, and I quite like them. So with that is 2. That is his drumming style. That is Sleep Token. And that is a very long video, but that's what we're going to try and do, is a little bit more of a deep dive into some drummers. So if there's any drummers that we want to take a look at, try and break down their style or their approach. I don't want to go too technical as to break down every single drum fill and be like, right, they're doing a 16th note triplet fill over, whatever. I don't really want to go down that route too much, because that does start to get quite boring. We can all sort of work out what it is that they're doing if we put enough time into it. But yeah, that approach to writing or playing or covering tracks is quite a fun one. So we're going to leave it there. Drop your comments of which drummer we should review next. I'm still going to record 2 after this, so your comments will not be listened to until the fourth video. But drop them in the comments. We will do our best, and we will have a look. See you in the next video.